a big day ahead of me here. We're doing 4 German beers today. We got to spread these out. So, I'm starting early. One of them's a Radler, a unfiltered Radler, flavored light beer with lemon drink. So because it's a Radler, it seems like it'd be a good breakfast beer. It is made with 60% beer and 40% lemon drink. And it's 3% alcohol. So let's try this out. Oh yeah, you can smell the lemon just bubbling out of there. Might be a nice way to start the day. Ooh, that's nice. All right. See you all in a bit. Why are you going through 4 German beers, Alan? Well, I'll tell you while I crack open this dab right here. That's short for Dortmund Export Brewery. I'm assuming brewery is brewery. They've been brewing since 1868, proudly in Germany. So here we go, my first ever dab. I'll be honest, I don't really have a lot of experience with German beers. So, yeah, we did the Radler, but this is my first time having a dab. Dortmund Export. It's the original style from Germany, so that's cool. So why am I doing this? Well, my friend Thor, and Thor is a guy I've known. I mean, I pretty much grew up with the guy. Hold on, let's just. Wow, that's. I'm not experienced at pouring German beers. German beers just pour different. I think I read somewhere like sometimes a good head is 2 fingers, so it's like a 3 plus. It's like a 3+ finger head. So not my best pour, but what are you gonna do? Yeah. So my friend Thor dropped these off at my house a few weeks ago. He showed up with a cooler bag full of beers for me, including 4 German beers, and he wanted me to review the beers in the show. So that's yeah, absolutely. Again, I don't have a lot of experience with German beers. Thor is a guy I grew up with. Like when we were like 16 years old, we were like inseparable. Many wasted hours listening to a lot of Van Halen albums and watching slasher movies. That was kind of my youth with Thor. The last time I saw him, I ran into him at a Jets game a couple of years ago, and prior to that, I hadn't seen him in decades, other than the miracle of social media. And yeah, so he watches the show, decided to bring me some beers, and this is the second time that I've had a friend like give me beer because they want to see me review it. So my master plan is working, and so far, it's not people just getting rid of beer they don't want. I haven't like opened up the door to a 2-liter of Stone Cold sitting on my step. And if that happens, I will drink it and review it. So this brewery, Dab, is from Dortmund, which is where his mom and dad were born. And just 20 minutes away from where they lived. And he spent some time there at one point in his life. So this really is kind of like his favorite German beer. I think there was a certain style of dab that he wanted me to try and I didn't have. But this says it's the original style. It's the, it seems like it's their standard one that they do. So it's a good place to start. Other than, of course, the breakfast beer, which is it's a whole other thing. And we'll talk a bit about Radlers in a minute. But let's give the Dortmund Export a try here. Not much to the odor, right? It's a lager. It's kind of got like the kind of yeasty notes that you get, bready notes from that you normally get from a lager. It smells like an Oktoberfest beer hall, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty light. It's a lager. It tastes a lot like Canadian lagers. better American lagers. Yeah, it's maybe a little thicker in the mouthfeel than I was expecting. But it's pretty decent. The thing with German beers is they have a set of laws. What is it? The German purity laws. It's a Reinheitsgebot. Reinheitsgebot. I think I'm saying that right. Reinheitsgebot. Reinheitsgebot. Thor actually sent me a video of him pronouncing this, so I'm gonna look that up right now, and we're all gonna get a lesson on how to properly pronounce the German purity laws for beer.
Okay, it's pronounced Reinheitsgebot.
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 Reinheitsgebot. Got it. I think I got it. Well, let's try this out.
Reinheitsgebot.
That's probably better. Okay. So, in 1516, the Duke of Bavaria had declared a new set of laws, which I already said. I'm not going to say that word again. And this was purity laws. You could only sell beer that contained barley, hops, and water. And a few years later, yeast was discovered, and yeast is now was later added to the list of what can be included in a German beer legally. Those who made impure beer could have their questionable barrels confiscated without compensation. So this is a serious law. And yeah, it was in effect apparently in Germany until 1987. It's not in effect there anymore, but from what I understand, most German brewers still abide by the
Reinheitsgebot.
It does make an interesting thing though when you think about craft beers, which are so big here in North America right now, and kind of all over the place too. But like here we've got beers that are adding like lactose and all kinds of different ingredients. I mean, you're adding in like chocolate flavoring and all kinds of stuff. So I guess maybe that wasn't a thing you could do in Germany, or it would be considered impure if you did. But now breweries are allowed to do. I was gonna say whatever the hell they want, but that's probably within reason, right? Hard to really come up with a lot to say about this beer, if I'm being honest. It's pretty refreshing. Like I said, a little heavier in the mouthfeel than I was expecting. But the taste is pretty bright. Yeah, it's quite nice. Let's check and see. Check the ingredients and see if this is still brewed under the Reinheitsgebot rules. Ingredients: water, barley malt, hops, and hop extract. Hop extract is new, but I'm gonna assume that still counts as hops. I'm gonna say, and that's all that's listed for ingredients. So I'm saying that they're abiding by the law. If hop extract is okay, and I'm pretty darn sure it is. I find it interesting that barley is underlined in there. I don't think you can see that, but yeah, it's kind of hard to see. But barley is underlined, which is interesting. There is a way to actually check this. So one of the other beers that Thor sent was this Warsteiner, and this one says naturally brewed according to the German purity laws. So this one, it says it right here. So what do the ingredients say there? Let's see if there's hop extract in this. Ingredients: brewing water, barley malt, barley again. Can you see that? Barley is again underlined and bolded. Hops and hop extract. So there you go. You both are abiding by the purity laws. So thank you for doing your part. Earlier I chose not to talk a lot about the Rattler because I just wanted to get down to trying it. So the interesting thing I actually learned something this week, something that proves my claim that I am not a beer expert. I have never claimed to be a beer expert. I'm just an appreciator. Like, I always thought a lemon juice and beer was a shandy, and that grapefruit juice and beer was a radler. That was the perception I had. Apparently, I was wrong. So the difference between a radler and a shandy, they're both a combination of juice and beer. They're both exactly the same in that way. The difference is a shandy, that juice strictly has to be lemonade, whereas with a radler, it can be, I guess, any kind of juice. Now, the shandy is a British drink, and the radler came from Germany. So when you're having a radler, that's a German style beer. Although it's also similar to British style beer of shandy that had been around a slight bit longer. The bit of research I found on this, and by research I really just mean I Googled says here that according to legend, or internet research, the Radler was invented in the early 20th century in Germany at a bar called Kugelrau. Oh man, I should probably get Thor to help me with that one.
Reinheitsgebot.
Which was located on a popular bicycle route. So apparently the bartender was almost out of beer, and one day cut that beer with fizzy lemon water. And he claimed that was to keep the cyclists from getting too drunk, but it was really because he was running out of beer. So whichever version of that you want to accept as truth, it's probably a mixture of both, led to the creation of the Rattler. And it became very popular. It's a very, both the lemon Rattler and the grapefruit that I thought was a Rattler before, or I thought defined Rattler before, are both very, very refreshing drinks. I guess my misconception came from Stiegl Radler, Stiegl Brewery from Austria. They had, I think, was the first time I had seen a Radler, at least for sale in cans, the grapefruit Radler, and so a lot of microbreweries, craft brewers were starting to do Radlers, and they all seem to be grapefruit. So I think that is where that misconception came from. Okay, so I don't really... a Mybach is not a style of beer I've had before. I've had a Bock. Bock is like a darker beer. Heavier, darker beer. Yeah, Germany's not really known for dark beers, really. So I'm thinking it's probably lighter. Hard to say what it smells like out of the can. Now, again, my German beer pouring skills are a little closer, right? Closer to two finger. 2.5. That's yeah, it definitely looks like a little bit lighter than the Dortmund Export. But it's 7% alcohol, so it's heavier in the alcohol, a little lighter in the color. So not only is it lighter in color, but it's lighter in odor too. Like it's almost odorless, which scares me because the last time I had an odorless beer, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But let's give this a try. It's quite nice. It's definitely a different taste from the other, but it's still very light. The 7% alcohol seems really scary in this right now because it just tastes so light and refreshing. Yeah, maybe a little bit hoppier than the lager, but not like really bitter or anything. Like, you often associate like hops with bitterness, but this really isn't very bitter at all. Yeah, even the mouthfeel is lighter than the lager, I think. It's just a little more of a distinct taste to the Mybach. It's like a very light hoppiness to it. Like, you feel it a bit on the tongue, like that little bit of a, that bite you get on the tongue a bit from a hoppier beer. You get a little more of that. Just an overall brighter feel to the Mybach over the lager beer. It's not a style I'm very familiar with, so I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for that the next time I'm in a craft brewery and doing a flight or something. If I see someone's doing a Mybach, and I don't even know if I'm saying Mybach right. I mean, it's gotta be Mybach. It's Mybach. All right, so we are finishing up here with Warsteiner. Warsteiner German Pilsner. It is naturally brewed to the German purity law. Let's check this out. It's Pilsner. I really like Pilsners, so I'm looking forward to this one. It's a nice day out too, so it's a kind of good day for a nice, light, bubbly Pilsner. My pouring skills are just so off today. So I looked up a bit about the brewery here. So they are located about an hour's drive away from the Dab brewery in Dortmund. So, if you were planning a trip to Germany, you could do both those in one day, really, I think. I mean, an hour apart, you could plan your day out like that. And when we're in that situation where we can travel again, then I'd love to go to Germany one day and do those two breweries in one shot. That could be a lot of fun. That's nice and it's crisp. It's it's very flavorful. Very nice Pilsner. I might go out on a limb and say this is my favorite of the four German beers that I tried. The Mybach was quite nice too, but this is very nice. Not a lot going on the nose. Head's nice, fluffy, giving me a bit of a Warsteiner mustache. So thanks, Thor, for bringing beers to me. This was great, and thank you, Germany, for inventing the Radler and making some pretty damn good beers. We got some more shows coming in the near future, so subscribe to the channel. Keep your eye open. It's always a thrill a minute around here. If you are interested too, you probably want to get one of these One Flight Down t-shirts, or coasters. Coasters are pretty nice, right? Coasters or shower curtains are, they're very popular. So all the information on that is all in the description below. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, drink local, unless you got friends dropping off German beer to your house, then drink that.
I'm sick and I'm tired and I need to go home. Been here all week just drinking alone. I've had whiskey, tequila, gallons of beer, and I just can't drink anymore. I just can't drink anymore. All the times when I stayed out.
Reinheitsgebot.